the wrestling world lost a true all-time great this weekend when Harry Fujiwara, better known to everybody as Mr. Fuji, passed away this Sunday at the age of 82. Prior to my introduction to him and most fans' introduction of my age, him as the manager of Yokozuna and the Powers of Pain, and the list goes on and on. And then I do remember the great Fuji Vice bits, watching those on WWE Classics. But Mr. Fuji was the prototype. If you were watching somebody or telling somebody that had to be a heel manager, you watch Mr. Fuji, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Freddie Blassie. And maybe now to a later extent now Paul Heyman, but someone who was both exceeded both well in managerial and was a true all-time great in the ring too in WWE. Mr. Fuji will be sorely missed by wrestling fans, all wise, and we at Slamcast send our extollations to Harry Fujiwara's friends and family and fans. All right. Now we got the sad part out of the way. We get the happy part out because we got a lot of happy things to talk about. But that's coming in the main event of the evening. Welcome to Slamcast. Live, not live. So you're saying this live because we used to just started to do the show live. We don't do it live anymore. We definitely record the shit out of the show because it's on take 3 of recording.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll never see that, though. I am your host, Brendan Liggan. That is Nick Horaceck. The two-man booth is in effect because I didn't feel like hitting up Michael Burhan. Sorry, Burhan. Just easier to produce it with 2 people.
Yeah, and it's a hell of a lot shorter show.
Yes.
And then again, we don't have an entire weekend of wrestling to cover.
We don't have an entire weekend of wrestling to cover, but we do have 2 pretty big events that happened over the week. And we're going to talk about maybe what's winning the overall Monday, Tuesday night wars.
Roughly.
We'll call it something better than that, hopefully. But
Brand Split version 2.
Brand Split version 2.0. There you go. There you go. That is how you do it. So yeah, all right. So let's take a bit of business out of the way. Word around the grapevine and the campfire, or whatever euphemism you want to use for the internet dirt sheets these days, pretty much place Alberto Del Rio on the WWE's most likely to be terminated list. Most likely not even going to come back from his current wellness policy violation suspension. Putting to an end what was a promising return, ultimately being let down by less than optimal creative, suboptimal creative, to say the least. I mean, what word around the campfire, or word around the internet is that he was promised a world title shot after coming in from the match highly recruited, coming back into WWE highly recruited, and having a great match in his first night back with John Cena, looking in the best shape of his career, looking fresh and looking motivated. But it never really materialized to anything. That came into the Mex-American angle, which. What was that, 2 weeks? Nothing. That didn't go anywhere. Then he was the, 4th guy in the League of Nations.
Yeah, that went over real well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the League of Nations had potential to be something more, but, I think creative gave up on it. I think The fans never really got behind it. They didn't really make it all that dominant. I think if they really wanted to, they should have put all the belts on it. They should have put, taken. I know I'm going to say this, sound crazy when I'm saying this. If they really wanted to make the league, they put all the belts on them. They had the world title, Sheamus. They had
the
US United States title. And then why not have Barrett and Del Rio as your tag team champions? God, that'd be a weird tag team, but it didn't work for a number of reasons. Also, being Sheamus having not the. It's not to say that Sheamus doesn't have charisma. There's something about it. Like there's a chorus of boos now that it comes out every time that Sheamus comes out. I don't know if that's he's good at that getting heat or that's just everybody expressing visible displeasure with Sheamus being in front of them. I don't know how they fix that, but Del Rio was saddled with that, and it went nowhere, and then his career went nowhere, and then, if Del Rio was me or I was Del Rio, I was promised certain things, and they did not go my way, and here I am 6 months later, just like, well, all right. What I got myself into? I can make more money in Mexico. I can make more money in Japan. I could be something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, peace out, WWE. We tried this. Sorry, this is clearly not working. I'm clearly not getting along. I look at that. I came out a winner. I got a nice, hot 23-year-old British girlfriend. I'm good. I'm good. See you later.
Mm-hmm.
Peace out. I don't begrudge Alberto Del Rio anything. I'm disappointed that both sides couldn't make it work.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a guy that, he left originally, he went to Lucha Underground in Mexico, and he became one of the hottest, commodities in wrestling. He was fantastic on season.
He honestly looked like a rejuvenated Alberto Del Rio. Like those first matches, that match that he had with John Cena was one of my favorite matches of that pay-per-view. And I thought, here we go. Here's a guy that looks like $1 million. Get ready for another Alberto Del Rio world title run. Maybe. Never really materialized. Never really built. He never really had a succession of good matches, or was never really a succession of feature matches where he could, ever be anything more than a background player. And especially, and then this was during the time when, the roster was severely depleted and they still couldn't make anything out of him. And now coming back into it, now that the roster is back up to, 80 to 90% strength, he's faded into the background again and become a memory, a faded memory.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because he is that talented, he is that good, and it's just, it's not so much a talent. The fact
I don't think he never connected with a character. Like I think his other than like apart from his initial run when he came in with the expensive cars and the I'm better than you because I come from money, all this other stuff, Mexican Ted DiBiase, basically. They never, once they moved from that, they never grew him other than just like, generic Mexican wrestler guy.
Yeah.
He's from Mexico. That was his gimmick.
That was it.
He's really good Mexican wrestler guy.
Yeah,
he wasn't good. He wasn't, Mexican aristocrat, that kind of thing. He was just really good Mexican wrestler guy. Mexican Dolph Ziggler.
Pretty much. I mean, it's, any guy that will voluntarily get into a MMA fight with Mirko Cro Cop.
Yeah, no, he's. That's why I'm never gonna slag off Del Rio, because as soon as I saw that fight and I saw that kick that he took, I'm just like, oh, okay, that guy. He went into the ring with Cro Cop during prime Cro Cop.
Yeah.
When he was kicking dudes, knocking dudes out on the regular.
Yep.
So no fear in Del Rio. Del Rio is definitely a fighter. But I wish him the best. I hope he winds up. I hope New Japan picks him up. Maybe they could use him in their, never open weight division or as something. Something. I'd like to see him go do something and be happy, or be working and be featured someplace else rather than be sitting in WWE collecting a paycheck, banging Paige every night on the regular. Anyway.
There's a little bit of the jealous branding coming out now?
Yeah, no, it happens. Whatever. What are you going to say?
Anyway.
I'm a weird, creepy dude. What do you want from me?
At least not as bad as Creepy Burhan.
I am at least admitted in my creepy moments, and I'm far less vulgar than he is. He's a lot more descriptive.
Yeah.
His vulgarity. I say whatever comes to my mind.
Anyway,
there's no filter here.
Pretty much.
So we did get a good episode of Monday Night Raw this week. I think Monday Night Raw had to be good coming after the reshuffle after the Finn Balor injury. Good news that Finn Balor surgery did go off well, and he is continuing to be active on social media and getting everybody to do Finn freezes. So let's hope the Finn Balor recovery train is short, and that time frame is the minimum of 6 months, because that would put him right around the time for WrestleMania. And
I want to see a Demon Mania entrance. I mean, you do not create that elaborate of an entrance for a guy and then not be chomping at the bit to use it at a WrestleMania.
No, I know, and I've been going back and forth with some of my friends on the entrance and stuff like that. Some people don't like it. They're just like, "Oh, what is it?" It's just like, it's a character. It's turning his character into overdrive. Like, some people are like, "Oh, I like it when he's just Irish dude who pops his collar," or people are never happy. Like, they started doing he started doing the body paint as different characters to stand out in Japan.
Yep.
And that's what got him, a level of attention in America that normally wouldn't have, which ultimately led to him getting signed.
Yep.
Or was a contributing factor into him getting signed. And now you're going to complain. Now, obviously, since you can't do that in WWE, you can't, paint yourself as another character and stuff like that.
Yeah. He's not coming out as fucking Venom. He's not coming out as Carnage or,
Yeah. I mean, or Bane. I like the Bane one. The Bane was a pretty good one, I thought. Mm-hmm. But the Venom and Carnage, those was pretty good. But anyway, I'm sidetracking. I hope Finn Balor, wish Finn Balor the best of recovery. Speedy recovery and rehab. So we did get a pretty, what was a rather humdrum, mediocre Raw was, I think, saved by an excellent ending, closing segment. We saw the return of Triple H.
Yep.
And as soon as Triple H came out and attacked Roman Reigns, I was like sold. I'm like, all right, awesome. That's, Triple H is asserting his will. He's going to put Seth Rollins as WWE champion. He's just taking him out one by one. And
Roman was the first victim.
Bam, 1, 2, 3. That was good. Then what happened next completely flipped my mind. Like, this just only further proves why Triple H is one of my all-time favorite performers. And, if that doesn't survive him as an all-time great performer, like these moments like this, I don't know what really will. I don't know what will sell the Bret Harts of the world on Triple H being an all-time great. But fuck me, Kevin Owens is now your WWE Universal Champion. He's the champion of the universe, as he said so many years ago in a closet somewhere in a VFW hall in Reseda, California.
Flanked by the hole.
Yes. I still can't believe it. We're living in this world now where Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, and Kevin Steen are WWE champions.
Yes. I mean, the only way it's going to get just that much better is if AJ Styles wins at Backlash.
What world are we living in, man? Like, this is insane wrestling time period. But
Yep.
we will see how this develops.
I mean, the way everything came off, just the look of genuine shock on Kevin Owens' face.
I really want. You should probably try and get this. I want Kevin Owens' scream to be like the wrestling version of the Wilhelm scream, like just him yelling when he's got the title. Yes. Just yeah. I want that sound effect. That's an all-time great. But we'll see where this storyline develops. Maybe a face turn of Seth Rollins. A lot of people have been, pointing to the fact that he hugged Stephanie McMahon and you hug my wife, I end your life, scenario.
Yes.
It's got interesting on Monday Night Raw real quick.
It definitely did.
As far as the blue team update, I think they had a rapt audience coming in after a great Talking Smack segment that everybody was talking about, and I think they dropped the ball. I really absolutely think they did. And how do they do this? They put Dolph Ziggler with The Miz.
Yeah. You just came off Dolph Ziggler losing the Ambrose at SummerSlam for the WWE title. Now he's all of a sudden in a picture for the Intercontinental title. Really? Like, I don't know. The only thing they got going on really right now is the tag title tournament, which saw the return of the Headbangers.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Good for them. You can very clearly tell that
half the audience wasn't even born yet when they were running.
Very obviously half the audience was not born in 1997 when these guys were, making their run. You can very clearly tell that Thrasher? Yeah, Thrasher has the goatee is all gray now, or that is drawn on. That hair does not come out someone's hair that black at that age. Sorry, buddy. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it that that's coming out of your face naturally. But, good for them. They looked in good shape. Who knows what this will lead to? Or they were just literally just there. Who they put over? The Hype Bros?
Yeah, it was the Hype Bros.
Yeah, they put over the Hype Bros. Good to see Zack Ryder getting one thing I do think SmackDown has going for it, and that I'm kind of intrigued about, is Heath Slater. SmackDown has Heath Slater right now, and Heath Slater is low-key on some of the best things in wrestling over the last 5 years. Like, he's been a subtle MVP of both Social Outcasts and the three-man band.
Yep.
And now this new pairing with Rhino, where they're just kind of like doing this like kind of white trash kind of thing, is just fucking great. Like I tried to post the link. I don't know. WWE probably had taken it down. Probably didn't want me to share it. They sent their commentary ninjas because they are paying attention to us.
Yes.
They are aware of this podcast. I think because
yeah.
My own self-delusions coming out there. The bit with Rhino and Renee Young and Heath Slater's wife, finger quotes, when Heath Slater says, "Oh yeah, I wish you came around when all my kids were here." It's like, oh, Renee's like, "Oh, where are they? Are they at school?" No, they're not collecting cans. Completely deadpan serious. Like that, ladies and gentlemen, is comedic style. Like just the way, like without, like, no hesitation. Like he actually has children out there collecting cans. I'm intrigued to see where this is going. The women's tournament? The women are having a tournament too? Is there like, this is tournament
No, I
season on
think it's
SmackDown?
a six-pack challenge at Backlash for the
Oh,
title, so they're going to have a...
one of those matches.
Yeah, maybe, I think it's going to be done. I think Nikki's winning that title. Like, that's the rumor right now. To start with.
Hey, you know what? Someone's got to be. I don't hate that, and here's why. It puts more prestige on the title if Nikki wins it, and if someone like Becky or Natalia wins it or something like that. Because Nikki Bella, again, did have the Divas, was the longest reigning Divas champion. I know that was a bad word, but Nikki Bella is now the, I guess, elder stateswoman of the division.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah, so she's the vet. No, so putting the belt on her puts prestige on that title to give it to Becky Lynch, to give it to Natalia, to give it to Carmella, to give it to Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Yada yada yada. We'll see where this goes. All right, so after, what are we on, like 6 weeks of this at least already?
I'd say about 4, roughly.
4 to 6 weeks, yep. 4 weeks of this. All right, who do you had the best showing, and what's your score? Like, if you had the score week in, week out, what's the score to you?
Honestly, I'm kind of thinking Raw, because Raw's definitely got a more stacked roster. They've had way more, big-time moments as far as big title changes, big, storyline, because SmackDown's had new tag titles, the new women's title. It seems like they're not fully there yet. While they are a 2-hour show, everything's a lot more tightly packed. Everything flows a hell of a lot better. Raw right now, I mean, how many big SmackDown moments can you really name in the last 6 weeks as opposed to Raw?
Exactly. And that's why I'm going with a complete 4-0 shutout, because week in, week out, I think Raw has been the better show, while SmackDown is still trying to earn its seat. SmackDown might have I think SmackDown, here you go, has the better roster as far as talent-wise.
Right.
Like, they have John Cena, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz.
Yeah.
And they have Daniel Bryan, and they have Shane McMahon on TV. So that is they did load the front end pretty heavy. They didn't just entirely do it. And then everybody else they have on SmackDown.
They've got American Alpha. They've got the Russos. The Usos. God damn you, Vince Russo! Get the fuck out of my head, you piece of shit.
They should have a tag team now. Vince Russo should manage the Usos, and they should be the Russos.
God,
bro, that's a tag team right there.
Oh man, that'd be hilarious.
How much did Vince Russo probably lose his fucking mind? Like, bro, are you fucking did he have a stroke? Has he posted an online video yet of him smoking weed out of an apple?
I don't know
Kevin
if he
Owens?
has yet.
Oh my
but
God.
It's like, I knew the moment Owens won that title, Russo lost his fucking... He was the only negative reaction to it, which is amazing that, again, I guess because Raw doesn't have 5 swerves, 3 title changes, a pole match...
That was a swerve! That was absolutely a swerve. Stephanie McMahon had no idea Triple H was going to do that on camera. Her character had no idea that Triple H was just going to come out of the crowd and turn on Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually Kevin a swerve Owens done right. What I mean is, there's not a weekly pole match, no random celebrity beating Jeff Jarrett over the head with a guitar, 3 title changes, 5 swerves, and,
Yeah.
A typical episode of Monday Nitro in 2000.
I tried. Those were just terrible episodes of Nitro. But they are available on the WWE Network for a low fee of $9.99. There's your network plug, WWE.
Yeah.
Send us a check, or at least make mine and Nick's networks free.
Really? Yeah. Speaking of networking, the Cruiserweight Classic is starting to.
It's coming down to the nitty gritty, man.
Yep.
They did just announce that the final will be live.
That'll be September 14th.
There has been a rumor, and I might share it. I might share. I don't know if I posted it on in the forum yet, but a a title belt, quote unquote, will go along with the trophy for the winner of the Cruiserweight Classic. Like the Cruiserweight Classic will now be an annual thing, but the winner of the first annual Cruiserweight Classic on top of the trophy will be the inaugural Cruiserweight Champion. And you can imagine what the title looks like. It's a purple WWE title with Cruiserweight on it. Who knows if that's going to be the actual design? We shall see, but I like it. It actually looks kind of pretty good with the purple, and it's a silver plating for the logo plate for the WWE. Mm-hmm. So I'm a fan of it. We'll see if that's the actual design that they go with. But if that is true, and the Cruiserweights will be making their return to Raw shortly thereafter,
September 19th.
It's looking pretty good, man. It's looking pretty good. I kind of already have in my head a little bit who I think is going to win this. I know it's not going to be Ibushi. Mm-hmm. As much as I would like it, I do predict Ibushi in the final.
Like the way these brackets are set up, it's looking like it's gonna be Zack Sabre and Ibushi in the final. So,
see, I think that's the obvious one. I don't know if Zack Sabre Jr. is going to be on a full-time thing. I think Cedric Alexander is going to take it. I think Cedric Alexander is going to be your first first Cruiserweight champion. You look at guys who are signed to WWE.
Mm-hmm. Gargano, Ciampa.
Exactly.
Cedric.
Look at those guys, the guys who are actually under contract, under developmental contract, not just a working performance thing. I'm assuming that there will be some people that will be signed after the Cruiserweight Classic. Your Ibushis, your Sabres, your yada yada.
Yep.
Cedric Alexander. That's my pick for the very first Cruiserweight champion. We'll see how that goes down. That's my pick, though.
All right. Jeez, we got Lucha Underground coming back for season 3 here in September. We've got
the fall is looking pretty good for wrestling. That's all I'm gonna say. Like the WWE is gearing up to do some pretty interesting storylines. We'll see how this Triple H Kevin Owens. I'm gonna call the staple of Kevolution right now until
Kevolution. It is the Kevin Owens Show after all.
It is the Kevin Owens Show, and I could not have been any happier at the moment that he won it, because it is a guy that came from the independent circuit, reaching the pinnacle of success in this business. Having your hand raised by Triple H and a WWE championship placed on you doesn't get much higher than that, man. I don't care where it is. The only way that situation gets better is if it's on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Or one of the bigger pay-per-views, SummerSlam.
Royal Rumble, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, that is... I do like there was the meme that that always comes around anytime they do any sort of title change on Raw, which the David Arquette, that this isn't even a pay-per-view, which I guess if that is the lasting contribution that Ready to Rumble will have in the internet world, other than just solidifying that Oliver Platt is a fucking amazing actor, I'm okay with that.
It's the fact that that David Arquette won the title on a freaking big title change happened on TV and not pay-per-view.
So that's think we hit all our bullet
Yeah, we hit
points,
everything
didn't
we needed to. So
So you want to do an Iron Sheik tweet of the week, and then let's go home.
Iron Sheik tweet of the week.
Iron Sheik tweet of the week.
Fuck him! I talked him! I wanna know, are you the man or are you a fucking piece of shit? No good motherfucker! Fucking bullshit! Bullshit, Hulk Hogan! I'm the rare all-American gold medal.
So the Iron Sheik continuing, as well as being a source of comedic bounty, I guess you could say, never-ending comedic bounty, is also the voice and the moral soul of the nation. And we're all sort of dealing with great loss this week, and the loss of Gene Wilder, beloved actor and performer. And Shaky Baby, summed it up and said, Gene Wilder, I love you forever. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your Iron Sheik tweet of the week.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
I could not have put it any better than that.
Yeah.
So, Nick, you ready to get some plugs out, and then
Yeah. I'm over on YouTube. With the
Shizzo?
Yep. YouTube the Gaming Pegasus 187, Twitter Gaming Pegasus 187, Facebook Nick Horaceck, Wrestling / MMA Revolution is the Facebook group. We're on iTunes, people. Go subscribe on there. Leave us a rating.
Too legit to quit. I mean, even if you want to talk shit about us and how, super nerdy and whatever, we use inferior languages. Whatever. I don't care. You're listening to it. You're using your right, man.
But yeah, Instagram, Xbox Live, Wii U, Pegasus 187, Twitter, PSN, The Extreme Enigma. I cannot fucking wait for WWE 217. We're about a month out. Anyway, yep, that's all I fucking got. Brandon, take us out, please.
So, if you like us, you could, or you like me, you could follow me on Twitter at @ABrandonAllHope. That's where you get all my tweets, and sometimes I mostly hit on women. No, I don't. You could go like my other project, False Finish Gaming, at twitch.tv/falsefinish twitch.tv/falsefinish. I'm on there most nights. I'm trying to get a regular schedule down, and motivating is hard for me. So yeah, come join with me late nights. Play streams late night. That's the best time for me. So if you're awake and you can't sleep, or if you're around the world, come join with me. Twitch.tv/falsefinish. Go support independent wrestling. No matter where you are on planet Earth, I guarantee you there is a professional wrestling company local to you. Like, for example, there's a bunch of kids that live in my hometown that have a small training ring that, put on little shows in the backyard, much like I did 10 or so years ago, well, like 8 or so years ago, with my friends, before we took it inside and, wanted to do that. And I didn't even know about it. So I guarantee you, no matter where you live, it's out there. You just got to go out and find it. You got to be hungry. You got to know where to look. Ask around. Ask around. People that know things, community people. It happens. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. You might even see some people from your past. You might even see some stars from the future. You could say, hey, I remember I knew that guy way back when, doing Butte, Montana.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I just So,
Yeah, it's everywhere, man.
So sporting, it's the grassroots of the movement. It's a fun, wholesome family entertainment night for you and your family. So for Nick Horaceck, I'm Brandon Liggan. For Michael Burhan and everybody else, the cast of hundreds that are a part of this show, this has been Slamcast. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Steve Richards of the Retro Unlim Network and everybody else. I'm Brandon Liggan saying go forth and spread beauty and light. Love and humptiness. I think